Modern cars are boring, and you don't even have to be a hardcore car enthusiast to notice it. Just line up cars from different years. Look at parking lots from the 80s or 90s. Everything was different. You had bright colors, weird shapes, pop-up headlights, things that made no sense but existed anyway. Now look at a parking lot in 2025. We went from personality to templates. And today, I'm going to talk about why modern cars feel so boring, how we got here, and why the fun was slowly drained out of the automotive world. Reason number 1. Safety and aerodynamics killed creativity. One of the biggest reasons why modern cars look the exact same is because designers barely have any freedom left. Every car has to pass a layer of safety rules, crash standards, pedestrian safety, rollover tests, and the easiest way to pass all that is to make everything round, tall, and safe looking. That's why modern cars all share the same basic shape. High hood, thick pillars, sloped roofline, giant bumpers. It's not because designers are lazy, it's because regulations box everyone into a single template. Aerodynamics also played a role, and to be fair, aerodynamics aren't the enemy. Better airflow means better fuel economy, which saves you money and makes cars more efficient. That's a good thing. Problem is when aerodynamic obsession gets taken too far. When every single design has to be shaved down, smoothed out, and streamlined to the point where nothing stands out anymore. You lose creativity. You lose personality. There's a way to balance efficiency and expression, but brands aren't doing it. And here's the funny part. The rules that run car design aren't even consistent. Pop-up headlights got banned because they were too dangerous for pedestrians, but nobody says a word about a lifted F-150 with a steel bumper sitting at chest height. A Miata with pop-up headlights is apparently a threat to society, but a truck that could literally run over a child without even noticing is totally fine. The double standard is insane. Back in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, brands could experiment. Cars had personality because designers could actually design. Today, they're forced into whatever shape checks out the most safety boxes and slips through a wind tunnel without upsetting fuel economy goals. So instead of wild designs, we get a parking lot full of silver blobs. We need the middle ground. Efficient cars that don't look photocopied. Reason number 2. Automakers are cheap. Another reason why modern cars are boring is simple. Automakers got cheap. Like, unbelievably cheap. Every car company today is obsessed with cost cutting, and the easiest way to save money is to recycle parts, reuse designs, and make every model share the exact same pieces underneath. Back in the day, a new generation of a car meant new everything. Fresh design, new interior, new engine options, it all improved on the last. Now, a new generation is just the old model with slightly different headlights and a bigger touchscreen. Automakers call it innovation, but it's really manufacturers doing the bare minimum because they know people will still buy it. Platforms used to be unique. Today, one platform gets stretched and reused across 6 different cars. You'll get a compact SUV, a crossover, a sedan, and a sporty model all running on the exact same cheap skeleton. It saves automakers millions, and it makes every car drive and feel exactly the same. In interiors, don't even get me started. Buttons cost money, so companies switch to touchscreens because it's cheaper to slap a massive iPad in the center than design proper controls. Even affordable brands are doing it. Everything is plastic, everything is the same UI, and everything feels mass-produced because it literally is. Cars used to have quirks because automakers put effort into making each model unique. Now everything is standardized, shrink-wrapped, and built from the same parts bin. When car companies are cutting corners like that, of course modern cars are going to feel boring. They're designed to be cheap to build, not exciting to drive. Reason number 3. Modern trends. Everything is becoming grayscale now, and that's even showing up in cars. Logos, houses, art, even fast food restaurants. Everything in 2025 is being stripped of their color palette. This trend is showing up everywhere, and it's also showing up in cars. Because everything just has to look the same nowadays. Look at modern cars. Everything is either gray, white, or silver. Sure, there's still a handful of cars that are other colors, like dark navy blue or whatever this is, but they're rare. And even rarer are actually fun colors. Pink, blue, green, all gone. And look at design. Like I said earlier, everything is smooth because of aerodynamics. People like it that way because they want everything to be simple. Cars lose their personality every generation. So yeah, modern trends are killing off car design, even though you wouldn't expect it to. Really shows how modern design is killing everything, not just logos or houses. Number 4. A phrase that makes any car enthusiast want to cry. Continuously variable transmissions. CVTs are one of the biggest reasons why modern cars feel completely soulless, and yeah, it deserves a long explanation because these things literally change the entirety of modern cars. Before CVTs took over, even a basic economy car had some personality. You'd feel the gear shift, you'd hear the engine climb and drop, and there was an actual rhythm to the driving. It felt mechanical, alive, and connected. But a CVT, it wipes almost all that out instantly. A CVT doesn't give you shifts. It doesn't even give you feedback. It just locks the engine into one weird droning RPM and sits there humming like a cheap vacuum. It's literally the gas-powered version of an EV. No build-up, no drama, just one long hum. It makes every car feel the same. Whether it's a crossover or compact, the experience is identical. One long, lifeless hum. Here's the kicker. The whole reason automakers push CVTs was to save money and brag about fuel economy on paper. They're cheaper to build, cheaper to ship, and look great in marketing. But drivers pay the price, literally. Automakers slap a new technology label on it and hike the MSRP, even though the transmission itself costs them less to produce than a traditional automatic. Not only are they boring, but they also just suck. Reliability? It's a joke. These things work fast, overheat, slip, shudder, and die early. Nissan had entire decades ruined by CVT failures. Subaru had to redesign them multiple times. Even Honda, normally bulletproof, had issues. The CVT replacement costs more than the entire car's worth by the time one fails. So now we're stuck in a world where the standard transmission is basically a rubber band in a metal box. It doesn't shift, it doesn't engage, and it sure doesn't make driving exciting. It takes what should be a fun, mechanical part of the car and turns it into a glorified noise machine. They killed personality, character, and any sense of connection between the driver and the car. They made everything feel sterile, and for a lot of people, that was the moment modern cars stopped having soul. Number 5. Tesla. Let me explain. This whole sterile, futuristic, blank, white spaceship interior thing didn't come out of nowhere. It started with Tesla. Around 2011, Tesla rolled out the Model S with basically no buttons, one giant screen, and an interior that looked like an Apple Store with seatbelts. Instead of saying, yeah, that's cool for an EV startup, every other automaker panicked and copied it. Before this, cars actually had character inside. Different layouts, different gauges, different materials, and actual design. You'd sit in a WRX, Mustang, Civic, whatever, and they all felt like their own thing. But Tesla changed the standard. Suddenly the trend became remove everything, make it flat, make it white, and call it the future. And now everyone wants to compete with Tesla, so they gut their interiors and slap a huge tablet in the middle. Even brands that used to care about driving, like BMW or Lexus, ditched real controls to look modern. It's the same cold, minimalist, ultra-sanitized vibe like you're sitting inside a Wi-Fi router. Tesla didn't make EVs mainstream. They made boring interiors mainstream. And now we're stuck with every car trying to be a futuristic tech pod instead of something designed for people who actually like driving. Now is there any hope left? Yeah. Even with every automaker chasing screens, CVTs, and futuristic design, there are still brand new cars to keep driving fun life without costing supercar money. They aren't perfect, but they prove the entire industry hasn't turned into one big appliance maker. First, the Miata is still somehow on sale today, and it's the king of affordable fun. It's light, simple, rear-wheel drive, you can get a brand new one for less than what some people spend on a lifted pickup truck. No dumb fake engine noise, no giant iPad glued to the dash, just driving. You also have the Civic Si and Volkswagen GTI. Not cheap, but they're one of the last few new cars that feels like they were designed by people who actually enjoy driving. Also the Kia K4 and Elantra Ren, they're cheap and pretty fun for what they offer, even if their interiors look like a hospital meets Apple Store. So yeah, the market might be drowning in boring tech boxes, but not everything is lost. There are new cars that still feel like cars, not appliances. What do you think? Are modern cars actually cool, or are things going down? I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember people, drive safe, drive smart, but most importantly, drive something worth talking about. See you in the next one.